Happy New Year, everybody. January 4th, 2021. Hey, this time last year, we had no idea that 2020 was going to be the way it was. And I think all of us have a pretty hopeful expectation that 2021 is going to be a much more sane, progressive year. We still have a lot to get through, obviously, with the virus, but it seems to be trending in a better direction now that we have the vaccine. So I have been thinking about in the past year, even though all the 2020 was going on, I've been doing a lot of thinking about what I wanted to do in 2021. At the end of the year, I spend about 12 days each and every year just kind of doing what I call a blank slate, to go back and look at what happened in the past year, and more importantly, what do I want to do to create in the new year. And you guys know, if you follow anything that I share, my whole mission in life is to create a life I love and to live it well. And the reason I want to do that is, why wouldn't I want to do that? And what I want to do is do that for other people in addition. So that's what I spend my time and energy on. Also, this year, 2021, when I was reflecting on this year coming up, I realized it was a big milestone for myself and some close friends of mine as well. A big milestone that I'm calling 10 years in the making. And what I mean by 10 years in the making was tonight, 8 o'clock, was the first episode of Biggest Loser, season 11. And so that was 10 years ago. And in 140 days, 4 months and 20 days, will be a 10-year anniversary of our season 11 finale. So it's hard to believe, but 10 years have gone by. I was 53 when the show started. Today I'm 63. It's weird. I mean, time, it's just weird how time moves along. And so I have shared different things over the years, and people I've worked with, people that I've supported in some of the different talks that I've done, my podcasts that I've done. I've shared some things that I learned over the past 10 years while I was on Biggest Loser, and also things that I've learned during the past 10 years that had nothing to do with Biggest Loser. But one of the things that for me was kind of not complete was I never really, what I would call, chronicled or took the time to really do a deep dive into what was it that I learned? What was it that other alumni from our season learned? What was it that alumni from other seasons and also alumni from around the world have learned? We have all, like anything in life, we've been up, we've been down, we've had tremendous successes. We've had some tragedies where we've lost some of the alumni. Some people have had difficult times, challenging times. We've had, it's just, we've all had various things that have been real life reality after the show. And for me, I always had in the back of my mind that I wanted to either write a book or do something. I didn't know what exactly what it was, and I'm still not exactly sure what it's going to be, but I wanted to be able to take, once we were getting to this 10-year mark, a decade, a big chunk of my life, a big chunk of anybody's life, as 10 years is, I thought it would be helpful to be able to look at what did I learn during Biggest Loser, what did I learn after Biggest Loser, and what could I kind of put together in a way that others could benefit from it. I still don't know what that looks like, but what I decided to do was today, that 10th anniversary, I decided to put a stake in the ground, and over the next 140 days before the finale, to take bits and pieces of things that could be clips from the show, could be interviews. I've interviewed some of the alumni from season 11 in the past year. I'll probably bring some of that back and share that with you guys from what we had talked about last year, maybe some excerpts from that. I want to interview other people from the show. I'd love to get every single alumni from season 11 and interview them. I've interviewed other people from other seasons. So it's kind of a mixed bag of what I want to be able to do. But when I get through this 140 days, I want to be able to know that I have kind of pulled out from all of the life experiences in the past 10 years, things that I know I can share with people and put them someplace, somehow, some way, maybe written, maybe video, maybe podcast, probably all of that, in a way that will serve others that they can tap into it. So if you have questions that you'd like to ask me, if you have someone you would like me to interview that maybe was in Biggest Loser, maybe somebody that was part of the cast, a trainer over the years, maybe it wasn't even a trainer from our particular season. If there's somebody that you would like me to interview that might be on a podcast, or somebody that is in the world of health and well-being that you think would be helpful to you, please let me know. The main thing is, I just want to complete this. I want to finish this. It's not finished. I get it. There's nothing ever exactly finished, but I do know that it's kind of like having all the ingredients of something. Like I love to cook. You guys know I love to cook. It's like having this rich pantry of what I call crazy delicious ingredients. And I want to pull all of these things out of the cupboard. I want to put them together into something that I can serve to everyone in a way that they will find it delicious, interesting, helpful, supportive. And like I said, I don't know what that looks like. And that's one of the other things I would say is that I've learned, one of the big things I've learned in the past 10 years, every time I've tried to figure something out and make it be something and try to just make it be something of a big deal, it's a great idea, but it never gets done. So instead of worrying whether or not I had all this figured out, I thought, well, you know what? It's like what happened on Biggest Loser when we started. We had no clue. We had no clue when we started that very first day what was going to happen. We didn't know where we were going to be on the scale. We didn't know what was going to happen week to week. We didn't know how long we'd be on the show. Such is life. In the past 10 years, I had no clue that I would be living where I'm living now. I had no clue many of the things that were going to happen to me. So by just starting and not making it so difficult, so putting so much pressure that somehow I had to figure all this out, and how was it going to be, and would somebody like it or not, I just let go of it and said, you know what, like anything else, whether it's getting on a treadmill or taking a walk or eating a little bit better or not eating better or being good to yourself or whatever, it doesn't really matter. Every single day is an opportunity to explore and to discover and to share. So that is the spirit in which I want to go forward with this, that I'm right now calling 10 years in the making. So it's going to be 10 years in the making, what's happened up to this point from 10 years ago tonight through the next 140 days. And probably what I'm going to do, maybe not, but probably what I'm going to do is complete this, whatever I put together, this dish that I'm going to cook, create, whatever you want to call it, by May 24th. From there, I will probably have an idea of something that I might want to take with this towards the end of the year. It's not that the experience of Biggest Loser and my mentioning of Biggest Loser will ever be gone, because it's been very foundational, very supportive, very life-changing, transforming for me and my family. But by the end of the year, I literally want to be able to feel that I have once and for all, pretty much what I would call close the chapter, close the book on that, be able to put that on the shelf. When it's on the shelf, it's always going to be there and kind of in what I would call the books of my life, chapters, whatever you want to call it. It'll be there. But I want to be able to move on from that. But this is really the year, 2021 is the year that I want to just take the time to go through this. So maybe there's something that you are thinking about that you want to do that. I would just offer, it doesn't matter that you start on January 1st. It doesn't matter that it's on a particular day. There's a lot of year in front of us. Maybe if there's something, when I'm doing this, maybe this will spark something for you that you have been thinking about for a long time. It doesn't have to be 10 years, maybe it's a year, maybe it's 5 years. But maybe there's something that you want to be able to complete, kind of wrap it up with a nice bow, put up on the shelf. As I've gotten older, I've found that those are things that are nice to complete. When we're younger, we're always trying to figure something out and we're trying to be something. As you get, I think, 40, 50 and beyond, you're less concerned about that. And you're more thinking about, like, I've been very fortunate, grateful to have experienced many things, which is great. But what could I share with other people that maybe would be a catalyst or a spark for them to experience something that is important to them? That's the spirit of this that I'm going to do in the next 140 days. So 10 years in the making. It's going to be, by the way, if you don't know it, season 11, NBC's Biggest Loser, was the longest season in the history of Biggest Loser. And it probably will be the longest ever. It just was, for whatever reason, everything converged for all of us who were lucky enough to be on the show. 21 episodes. So I just, for myself, for no particular reason, I just made it for myself. I took and put together, all of my Mondays in January. And here's all my Mondays when the show was on in February. And then there's March. And then there's April. And then May 24th. It will be 140 days from now. It will be the completion of the 10-year anniversary of an amazing journey that I'm very grateful that I was able to experience. So as I said, I'm not sure what this will look like, but with your participation, your comments, your thoughts, I am committed to doing something that will be of value to yourself and to others that are people that have been fans, have gotten something from Biggest Loser in a way that's helped them. And I know many of us have, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, I think millions of people actually have. And I'm just proud and honored to have been one of the people that had been given an opportunity to enjoy that journey. And I still enjoy it. So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for being here for the first mind data dump, thought dump, whatever you want to call it, the first time that I'm really just putting it out there. And thank you for the generosity of your time. And I will be back probably each day with something. And as we go forward on Mondays, I would like to make sure that those Mondays have something that really could be an interview, could be a special kind of a video, something that really will move the ball forward in terms of what you're doing also as a possibility in 2021. So thank you again for being here, and I'll see you guys soon.